Oh, hey, I know it's only been 4 months into the new year, and but it has been kind of tough recently, and I wanted to actually kind of um, sort of talk about it in general, in, in a quick few points. Maybe not few points, but like in general about what has happened over the past first 4 months of this year. It does feel pretty like long. It just feels really quite a lot. I mean, to sum it up, basically a lot has happened. Okay, and I uh, there's been a lot going on, and I mean it feels like a lot is going on, but I mean simply something really unfortunate happened. So I'll just get straight into it. And unfortunately, what has happened recently is that my mom had passed, and it's a pretty devastating thing to have happened, and um, event or what I'm not too sure how you to what's the right word to put it, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on the my whole thoughts my thoughts basically around the whole situation and recent events that has happened um, to leading up to the unfortunate news here. So yeah, so it obviously this is the first time that this kind of happening to me, so it has hit hard, um, and I've been trying to cope with what has happened. So I'll give a general timeline what has uh, taken place so far, or what has already taken place, and leading up to this moment, um, and taking the courage to kind of you know finally come to terms to talk about it, to at least share it here with you guys uh, to like I said, to talk about it. So to give a general things that I wanted to talk about. So first of all, I'll start off the new. We started off the new year. My family and I, we started off the new year, um, having to take care of my mom. She over time had became more sick, way more ill, and things took a turn. I can't go into too specifics. I don't really want to reveal too much of what this illness is. But unfortunately, it took a really like severe toll, and affected her health really badly, leading up to Chinese New Year, and she couldn't really join us for Chinese New Year gatherings and whatnot. And the week after that, it's just the week after that, it's just been like I that is like the toughest, I think. So um, obviously, I mean it's been already really tough going into 2026. Having to take care of her and kind of um, nourish her back to the pink of health, if you can call it that way. But with treatment and this and that we've been trying, to different methods of whatnot, TCM, um, Western medicine, and of course, the hospital treatment and whatnot. Um, yeah, I you know there was progress some parts of the way, but unfortunately, again, like I said, February took a toll, and I think that is the hardest month. And January was like kind of like things were still rather stable. But February really, after Chinese New Year especially, things took a toll, and it went downhill basically. And unfortunately, on the 10th day of Chinese New Year, which is on the 26th, she unfortunately had passed on. I That day I still remember pretty clearly. I had to rush from my workplace, which is currently where I'm currently, in the Nisum camp, um, doing my uh, ASA vocation uh, full time, and so I was, afternoon I was called upon to called my sister called me, and she sounded really worried, and so of course I rushed over, and and things again, like I said, went downhill. I cannot really go into too much specifics because I think it's a bit too much to really elaborate on. So we stayed by her bed um, for I think a couple hours before she ultimately, unfortunately, passed on at the moment. So yeah, so basically, I had to, the immediate feels, the immediate feeling from that, what has taken place and whatnot. I think it's been, you know, we were together. We meaning my dad, my sister, and I, three of us. We came together and uh, you know remembered my mom. So so as to say, I guess, yeah. And so there's been a lot has happened with that, and we cried our hearts out. That's what also uh that's what we did too. I think it's a lot. So yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of generally talk about this. Um, in case you're wondering what has been happening these past couple months, past 4 months really. Took me, I took 2 months to kind of recuperate, and I mean, of course, I still have to go to work, but of course, to recover from these recent events, and yeah. So I still remember, like, my relative, my aunt rather. It's still kind of like still very vivid in my memory. I don't know if I want to. I guess I'll mention it's just I still remember she was like crying really devastated as well. I don't know. It's just it's it's obviously quite a lot for me to take in as well. So yeah, I was we were all crying at the hospital, and you know and the days that followed, we were mourning, and we held a really uh, private wake. It's I mean, not considered private wake. It's held at the funeral parlor, but people can come and visit. All the close friends, close colleagues, and whatnot, close relatives can come and visit. So yeah, that was we didn't hold like what my friends would probably do. It's to hold like a wake at the void deck, which we were not very comfortable with doing that. So we prefer more private um, setting. Though I think I I think it's a bit more pricey, if I'm not wrong, for a more private setting. But I think, yeah. So yeah, again, um, it's a lot. that has happened. And so yeah, I suppose I've pretty much elaborated it in general to the best of my ability, um, to hopefully you guys sort of get the gist of what has happened, in case you're wondering why these 4 months have been pretty absent, which I mean is pretty usual because again, I don't I've already mentioned before that I'm not really doing videos on like a frequent basis, or rather I don't think of wanting to do videos per se. Not that I've completely retired from it. So I do have video ideas that I want to um, try out, but again, of course, with what has happened recently as well from the past few months, um, I had to put that on hold. But now again with this video and me explaining things, I can sort of I can now finally move on. So it's kind of like it's kind of like how that's kind of what the purpose of this video is to share with you guys, and finally really genuinely move on now from all that. But again, I mean I can do this video earlier, but um again, time time not can't find the right time. And again, I think also wanted to find a good moment to do this video. So hopefully it worked. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I'll give a bit of an update also on my uh, NS experience. I put out a video about my NS experience. You can go and check that out. Um, yeah, I'm still in the ASA vocation. If you're wondering, it's still pretty much the same chill. I wouldn't necessarily say it's laid back, but okay. But it can be laid back, and it is quite laid back. But I will not say it's completely laid back. Okay, but regardless, same thing, 8 to 5. Same old thing. And yeah, pretty much the update here is that there's still I'm actually less than a year to go for this ASA thing. So yeah, it's actually about like I think 10 months to go. Yeah, another 10 months to go to about 9-10 months to go to my ORD. So yeah, so yeah, I look forward to that. So yeah. But regardless, I've passed the halfway point of this whole NS experience. So I think that's a good thing too. Is at least you a milestone is hit. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my thoughts. I hope to come back with more a livelier video in a surprising setup. Not that I'm going to do much like significant changes here, but I'm saying surprising setup in terms of what is open for your interpretation to figure it out and sort of marinate and think about what that means. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again